Straight ahead tonight at News 13's coverage you can count on.
Find out why the city of Georgetown says the Statue of Liberty can't walk the sidewalks in town. Mason?
The system that we're living in is broken.
A restaurant employee says he left his job because his boss asked him to break the law. His boss denies it. Meanwhile, state workforce officials deny the man unemployment benefits. News 13 gets answers in a special report coming up.
Well, in this economic climate, we bring you stories all the time about folks who've lost their jobs or who get benefits while they search for a job.
However, a local man says that he stopped going into work because he says his boss asked him to break the law. His boss says otherwise. And now, as News 13's Mason Snyder reports, the ex-employee says he's not only out of a job, he also can't get unemployment.
For the last 10 years, Russell Cooks worked at Billy the Kid's restaurant in Little River. Last August, Cooks says restaurant owner Billy Hardy made an announcement to the staff.
He announced to us that they're going through some paperwork changes and they didn't renew their license to sell alcohol. Okay, but he instructed us to continue to sell alcohol.
State law says that's illegal, and Cook didn't want to be held responsible for selling alcohol illegally. So Cook called the Department of Revenue, only to find out.
And they said that Billy the Kids did not have a license since May 1st of 2009.
Records show the restaurant's license actually expired in June 2009. Last August, Cook stopped going to work and applied for unemployment. To make sure no one could call him a liar, Cook took matters into his own hands.
Here we're recording. We're Billy the Kids we got down here. Here's a better look at the sign. We'll go inside and see what we can find here. Hey, how you doing? Having a beer and some oysters?
Oh, yeah.
Billy the Kids.
Exactly.
Yeah. She's got a Bud Light.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there something special about
Well, they're selling alcohol without a license.
Days after Russell shot this video, we went up to Billy the Kids. We wanted to know if they were selling alcohol without a license, and if not, why people were drinking in the restaurant just a few nights before.
Hi, how are you?
At first, co-owner Phyllis Hardy says the restaurant does sell alcohol.
You guys serve alcohol here?
You do. But immediately a waitress refutes that and says Phyllis is hard of hearing.
We don't serve alcohol.
Well, she said you do serve alcohol.
We don't.
No.
Minutes later, co-owner Billy Hardy comes out from the back.
What did you do?
He says the people in Russell's video brought the alcohol in from outside, which, by the way, is legal.
They serve wine and they serve alcohol drinks also.
In his unemployment application, Cook clearly indicated the reason why he quit. But even though he says he quit because he didn't want to break the law, his benefits were denied. Cook appealed that ruling and was granted a hearing. Billy the Kids was supposed to show up to the hearing, but never did. The hearing officer ruled that even though Cook claimed that he was asked to break the law, he was disqualified from receiving benefits, saying he terminated his employment, quote, without good cause. We contacted the Department of Employment and Workforce in Columbia.
It's hard to say one way or the other with specific things. It depends on facts of cases and hearing officers. I'm not a hearing officer, and we're just not going to comment on specific cases.
The department says it doesn't comment on specific cases to protect people's privacy, and even with Cook's permission, we got the same answer.
Even if the person in the case gives us permission, we did not comment on specific cases.
I'm baffled. I have no idea what to think about it. It's just not, the system that we're living in is broken.
Now, we checked with Billy the Kid's menu, and it doesn't mention selling any type of beverage, hard or soft. Again, the Department of Revenue says that folks can bring alcohol into a restaurant that doesn't have a license as long as the owner is okay with it. If a restaurant sells any kind of alcohol without a license, that's what's illegal. The State Law Enforcement Division says that scaling back on the budget cut the majority of its officers that enforce alcohol licensing over the last 3 years. But in the last 10 months, SLED's now rehired about half of those positions. SLED Chief Mark Keel says that restaurants' alcohol licenses are checked at random. After hearing about our story, Keel says SLED will follow up with Billy the Kids. Reporting tonight in the studio, Mason Snyder, News 13.